How about we take a look at some of our graphs? I've got to see how things are changing in our watershed.
We'll start with total precipitation, or the amount of rain and snow that fell in the Fort Collins for the month of November. And since you did all the research for this data stuff, talk to me.
Here's the last 115 years worth of data collected from the CSU weather station in Fort Collins, and our precipitation varies from a low in February of under a half an inch to a high in May of over 2.5 inches, right about there. So, but that is on average. So on average, Fort Collins receives about 0.8 inches of precipitation in November.
This year, we got 0.7 inches of precipitation.
Okay, what about snow? How does our snow this month compare to long-term averages?
Well, this graph shows that we typically get about 10 inches of snow in November here in Fort Collins.
This November, we had about 6.9 inches of snow.
So we're not breaking any records this month like we did last month.
Right, in fact, we're a little below averages for this month.
Let's check out mountain snow. For that, we go to Joe Wright Reservoir, up the Poudre Canyon, almost to the tippy top of Cameron Pass.
The smooth blue line you're seeing on this here graph shows the average amount of snow, or snow water equivalent, over the past 30 years.
Yes, the amount of water that results from melted snow, which is what we really care about. You can't drink snow, you know.
So true there, Matt. Do you see the little dark red line right about here? That's the amount of snow water equivalent that has fallen at this location so far. Do you notice the little blips? 2 little blips to be exact. Those are just 2 storms that accounted for most of the snow we see in October and November, and we're still above our average thus far. Blips, see the blips.
Keep coming, mountain snow.
This brings us to a connection between precipitation and stream flow. We know that eventually all the rain and snow drain into a common place in our own watershed,
Which is the Poudre River.
So smart. And there's not too much to report now. Here's our stream flow graph, or hydrograph, of the Poudre. Our average flow in blue and our current flow on the Poudre in red. So, we're at our typical low flows called base flow, base flow, right now until all that snow starts melting during the spring runoff.
Then things start to get exciting.
And we'll fill you in more when that time comes. We're back.
So, what's left?
Well, let's take a look at the water that comes to us from the Colorado River watershed.
And stored for us at Horsetooth.
Let's look at the water storage elevations of Horsetooth.
Remember, storage means holding water in one place until it's needed. And of course, we store water in a reservoir.
By Jove, you're right. Right now, in the fall, we're at some of our lowest water levels in Horsetooth. We've even lost a couple of feet of water elevation since the last month.
And it will continue to stay low until the water managers decide to open the pipes and flip the switches to begin to send more water through the system. In fact, November is the month they turn off the water flow completely into the tunnel and send inspectors inside of it to make sure all is good before starting to fill our reservoirs on the east slope for the 2010 water year.
So they can actually drive through the tunnel, you don't say?
Yes, I do say it's 9 feet across, and the story goes that when they reach the location of the Continental Divide inside the tunnel, they sign their name on the spot.
By Jove, I'd like to see that. Most people have no idea.
Great Scott! Through engineering and design, we have water storage in an area that wouldn't have been a place where people could easily live and work before. A place people used to refer to as the Great Desert, or by diverted water from a major river basin on the other side of the Continental Divide, and then storing it in human-made reservoirs until we use it.
Wow, you managed to use all those big words in one sentence. I give you a little applause.
That's why I get the big bucks round here.
Good report, Matt.
Hey, we'll see you everyone in a month for a recap of our water conditions for the month of December 2009. Cheerio!
Cheers everyone.